Welcome back to Crypto Atlas, your daily source for crypto whale alerts, crypto market news, and DeFi gems. And wow, today's episode is packed. We've got over $800 million in XRP whale transfers, Ripple finalizing a massive acquisition and launching Ripple Prime, Evernorth's XRP treasury closing in on $1 billion, XRP ETFs booming, and even signs of a breakout on the XRP Bitcoin chart. Everything is pointing to something huge brewing in the Ripple ecosystem, and we're going to unpack it all. So let's go ahead and start with what everyone's talking about, the two gigantic XRP whale transfers that lit up the ledger. First, Ripple itself moved 200 million XRP, that's worth around $496 million, to an unknown wallet. Then just minutes later, another 126.7 million XRP, roughly $315 million, was transferred between wallets linked to Evernorth, a Ripple connected entity activated through BitGo. That's more than $811 million in total XRP moved in under half an hour. And get this, both transactions happened around the same time frame with clean institutional level precision. The wallets weren't retail or exchange linked either. Ripple's sending wallet was verified with the ripple.com domain, while the receiving wallet had BitGo custody, multi-sig enabled, and restricted access. All signs of professional compliance managed structures. When you see moves like this, it's not random. This looks like Ripple funding liquidity or seeding a new institutional treasury. And based on what we've learned, that treasury belongs to Evernorth, Ripple's newly revealed institutional XRP arm. Now, before we do go ahead and dive a little bit further into this, I just want to quickly let you know that I do have a referral link to a crypto exchange called BTCC. You can pause the video if you want to read up on this, but if you want to get started, you can find that link down in the description below. Also, I'm on Telegram. You guys can find my link there. You can stay updated by joining that too. Let's go ahead and continue on with the news. So a tweet came out from Xife Crypto, and that dropped right after the whale alerts, and it seemed to essentially connect everything. The Evernorth treasury is almost complete. Just 7 days after creation, the wallet now holds over 388 million XRP. That's about $993 million. So let that sink in. In just 1 week, this wallet, created by Ripple and managed through BitGo, accumulated nearly $1 billion worth of XRP. This isn't your typical crypto project. This is a corporate grade treasury operation. Ripple is clearly setting up a massive institutional pool of XRP, potentially for market making, cross-border settlements, or ETF related liquidity. And remember, this is all happening quietly without any public announcement until now. Then Ripple drops this bombshell. Introducing Ripple Prime, we're pleased to share that our acquisition of Hidden Road is officially complete. Hidden Road was a global prime brokerage, a major player providing trading and clearing for institutional investors across multiple assets. And with this acquisition, Ripple becomes the first crypto company to own a global multi-asset prime broker, and that's massive. Ripple isn't just a payments company anymore. It's now sitting at the center of institutional liquidity, providing access, custody, and execution, all built on top of XRP's infrastructure. And it's not just about owning Hidden Road. Ripple completely rebranded it as Ripple Prime, signaling they're ready to bridge traditional finance directly into crypto using XRP as the settlement layer. And then Hidden Road's own account confirmed the next chapter starts now. Hidden Road is now Ripple Prime. Then analyst Smoke followed up with a key detail. Hidden Road plans to migrate its post-trade clearing onto XRPL, showcasing the blockchain's ability to handle high-volume institutional flows. That's huge because post-trade clearing is the backbone of every major financial system. If Ripple Prime starts running that process on XRPL, it's not just a test, it's proof of XRP's scalability for real-world institutional transactions. So yeah, we're talking about a future where hedge funds, banks, and brokerages could literally settle trades through the XRP ledger. Then, Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse added fuel to the fire. With today's close of Hidden Road, now Ripple Prime, Ripple has announced 5 major acquisitions in about 2 years. Treasury, Rail, Standard Custody, Medico, and now Hidden Road. XRP sits at the center of everything Ripple does, lock in. And that's the key phrase. XRP sits at the center of everything Ripple does. It's the clearest confirmation yet that Ripple's endgame, all these acquisitions, all this infrastructure, revolves around XRP. And shortly after, Whale Insider echoed this message. That's not subtle. Ripple's literally telling the world where the focus is heading. Meanwhile, institutions are lining up. Chad Steingraber posted footage of Grayscale's leadership ringing the New York Stock Exchange bell to celebrate the launch of the Crypto 5 ETF, also known as GDLC, which includes XRP as one of its top assets. Then Rex Osprey, they went ahead and Rex Shares announced that the Rex Osprey XRP ETF, or the ticker symbol XRPR, just crossed $100 million in assets under management, making it the first US ETF offering direct spot exposure to XRP. So let's go ahead and recap that. Ripple's building infrastructure for institutions, and ETFs are simultaneously giving institutions regulated access to XRP. The alignment is undeniable. And on top of all of this, Handy Andy tweeted, 5 seconds after launch, XRPL.services onboarded over 50,000 digital assets on the Ripple ledger, none of which are Ripple's. That's massive ecosystem growth. Developers are launching new tokens, stablecoins, and projects at an insane pace, all on XRPL. It's showing real utility, real adoption, and a growing developer base. Now let's go ahead and talk about the markets, because something interesting popped up. User Vincent Van Code had tweeted out saying something's happening with the XRP Bitcoin pairing on Binance. And if you look at the 15-minute chart, like the one that I've got pulled up here, you can see that huge green candle with a massive volume spike. That surge came right after all these announcements, the whale moves, Ripple Prime news, and Evernorth treasury update. Volume like that doesn't just happen by accident. It's a sign that big players are repositioning. Whales and institutions may be quietly accumulating XRP, while retail investors are just starting to wake up. Retail and leverage whales are also jumping in. We've got some bullish sentiment here. We can take a look at this tweet from James Wynn, who says, "I've gone down the XRP rabbit hole and decided to invest a significant portion, 25,000 plus, or well, 25 something plus. I believe it could revolutionize banking." You can only speculate exactly what that is there. That's the kind of post that spreads fast and brings in new eyes. Meanwhile, we also have Xife Crypto, who dropped another jaw dropper. A hyper-liquid whale just went all in, opening massive long positions on XRP and XLM, over $736,000 in longs, $5.4 million in profit. He clearly knows something. That's right, whales on derivatives platforms are leveraging heavily long on XRP. When whales and institutions both move in the same direction, it usually means something's coming. So let's go ahead and connect all the dots. Ripple and Evernorth just moved over $811 million in XRP, potentially setting up institutional liquidity. Ripple finalized its acquisition of Hidden Road, rebranding it as Ripple Prime, and is migrating clearing operations to the XRP ledger. Evernorth's treasury now holds nearly $1 billion in XRP. Multiple XRP ETFs are live and growing, and both on-chain activity and trading volume are spiking hard. All signs point to one thing: XRP's institutional era has officially begun. So let me know what you guys think. Share your thoughts with us down in the comments below. That's what I got for you in today's video. And also you can find me on Blue Sky at Crypto Atlas. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to my Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members. God bless. We'll see you guys in the next episode.